elected a member of parliament to replace Doris Seidu. It was a female member of parliament. He passed away, and the seat was held by an NDC MPP MP. This is why it was acrimonious. The seat was held by an MPP MP. She was a lady. She was called Doris Seidu. She died in August 2009. The by-election was occasioned. Then the NDC snatched the seat through a member of parliament.
I use the word flipped when the MPP won it from the NDC. Yes. Now you're using what? Snatched.
Yes. I did English in KWS, so let me use my vocabulary.
So snatching and then flipping, all the same thing.
Yes. Yeah, the NDC guy won. He was called Samuel Jabanyiti. He won the seat. So that was why it was acrimonious. And clearly, any student of politics will notice that in the fifth part, that's why he had that symptoms coming on. And Etiwa is also fondly remembered because there was also a by-election there. And that was where President Akuetteh is allegedly to have said that Etiwa Yechiro will be Ketuebi. And note the date.
Yechiro will be Kakrao.
Yes. Chepone by-election was 2009. And the NDP felt that because the NDC was then in power, Prof. Nails, they were beaten, they were attacked. And you know that mostly in some of these political crimes, when the police administration of the day, when you're opposition, you do not have much say. They control everything. So they felt that the Etiwa was their home. And Etiwa, I'm talking about Bunsu. So those who don't know, when you get to Enyinem, going to Bunsu Enclave, that is Etiwa. Now it's two constituencies, but then it was only one constituency. Now you have Etiwa East and Etiwa West. Etiwa is being held by Abena Osiasari, the Deputy Finance Minister, and Etiwa West held by the current Road Minister, Kumawu By-Elections. But then it was one big constituency. So the MPP thought that Etiwa was then, or the time was right for them to avenge whatever happened to them in Chepone. And David, the seat was won by, that was when the current road minister became an MP for the first time in 2010. Kwesi Amoakon Atta. The MP then who died was called Akwesi Ankama. So that was when the violence started. Now let's go to the seat parliament. And the seat parliament began from the 7th January 2013 to the 7th January 2017. And there were also 7 by-elections. So it tells you that it mimics that in the 3rd parliament. So 7 by-elections. And there was Akache South, 2010, which was won by the NDC. There was Boom in 2013, which was won by the NDC. There was Kubungu in 2013, which was won by the CPP. And David, will you remember who was the member of parliament for Kubungu? Leo, will you remember?
Rasmus Barak.
Which 2013?
No, I don't recall.
When I mentioned it, then you record the person. Let me go there. Let me go on. So there was also Talensi. Do you remember Talensi too? A very acrimonious by-election in 2015. There was a Memphis West in 2015. There was a Buakwan North. David Buakwan, there is okay. Do you remember Buakwan of 2016? David Akuetteh. That was when he was murdered. And there was a Betifi.
And that case is still in court. We've been dealing, going to a full court and all that.
Yes, there was a Betifi.
Sexy Gongo and test.
Yes, there was also a Betifi by-elections in 2006. Now, David, the Kubungu by-election, you remember Prof. Mills' running mate, the Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni. He was the sitting NDC MP for Kumbungu, but he had an appointment to go and be the General Secretary of the African Caribbean Pacific Group. No.
Which one is that?
That is Mohammed Mumuni. Ibn Chambers one was a bit earlier, so let me give you the fun fact about Dr. Ibn Chambers. Ibn Chambers took up an ECOWAS position. I'm just getting it for you, the year he went to the ECOWAS. Just a moment, I'll get it for you. Yes. So Dominic Nitiwu came and inherited the seat of Ibn Chambers because Ibn Chambers was the member of parliament for Bimbila, but he was appointed as the executive secretary of the ECOWAS in 2002. So he left that seat. Then a certain 22-year-old boy, the current defense minister, contested and won. And since then, that seat has been an MPP seat forever.
So when we talk about the Nkranza one, what also popped up was the MP at the time, Amwating, the cocaine issue came up around that time.
He was a certain member of parliament and he was arrested, I think, in the UK and was convicted. US, okay. And was convicted of drug charges and that occasioned a by-election. So David, in Kumungu, the by-election of 2013 was occasioned because the certain member of parliament, Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni, resigned. And he had also been a former running mate, so he was a very heavyweight guy. He was going to take a position as the General Secretary of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group of States, which is like a UN kind of sort agency. And the MPP boycotted the election because they know certainly they couldn't win. And the NDC lost the seat to the CPP. So that is the one seat the CPP has won in this history of the by-election. And it was won by one Amadou Yaya, he beat the NDC candidate Alhaji Imoro Yakubu Bagbu. Something, forgive me the name. Now, David, the Talensi by-election was also another acrimonious by-election in our history. When you take Tripone, Etiwa, another one you mentioned readily is Talensi, then you go to Ayawaso, West Wogon. Now, David, the Talensi by-election was a seat held by the MPP, one Robert Musuru, and he was enskinned as a chief. Clearly, you cannot be a chief and do active politics. So there was a by-election. That was when the former president, I think, of the Ghana Athletics Commission or Association, also BT Baba, contested on the ticket of the MPP and snatched the seat contested on the seat of the NDC and snatched the seat from the MPP. So that was a bit of acrimony. People were shot at, violence, burning of officers' cars and everything. So that was what happened in Talensi.
Okay. Now, before we delve into Kumawu, which of course the by-election is slated for tomorrow. Yesterday I spoke to the regional boss of the Electoral Commission. He says everything is set. We had wanted to talk to him this morning, but his line has been quite busy. But he said everything is set. They are ready for the elections tomorrow. Among some of the things he mentioned also was the fact that, this second independent candidate, Kukudia, was unwilling to change his symbol. He also had a symbol of a falcon, just like the other Kukudia, the independent candidate, who has a symbol of a dove. They spoke to him to change it. He was not forthcoming. He said he wasn't going to change it and all that. So the EC had to use their discretion. Upon his speaking to Accra, they used their discretion based on the law to get him a new symbol of a hoe. And so he says everything is set. They trained all their men, and that they are ready to organize the elections tomorrow in Kumawu. So we're just about to enter to Kumawu and bring you some information you need to know. But before we do that, let's talk about safety in our homes. Let's talk about safety, in the banking hall. Let's talk about safety in our warehouses. Let's talk about safety everywhere. And if you're looking for the right security doors for all these places I've mentioned, make sure that you go to Woody Locks. Now, Woody Locks, they deal in Israeli security doors. Their doors are elegant, affordable, and durable. So if you're looking for style, they've got it. If you're looking for durability, they've got it. Now, it has a gladiator locking system, which of course tells you that you have 13-bolt lock all round into the galvanized steel frame. The doors do not make noise when opened or closed. It doesn't make any noise at all. There are some people who monitor your movement in the home based on the noises that your doors make. It's specifically coated with powder paint to avoid peeling of paint. It weighs over 60 kg for a single door. It comes in single large, 1.5 and double doors. Now, for your information, you can also order for special height doors. Depending on the frame of your building or your structure, you can order for special height doors. Their doors are made of galvanized steel, so it is rust-free. At Woody Locks, keys are coded with 5 keys per door, which cannot be duplicated. Even if you move in as somebody who's renting the place, once it's doors from Woody Locks, the locks are not be duplicated. So whoever moved out of the house cannot come and do anything untoward in there. Now, if you want peace of mind, you want security at your home, your office, your bank, your warehouse, go straight to Woody Locks to have a door that lasts so long without replacement. There's a special offer for architects, building contractors, and real estate developers. Contact them by visiting their showroom at Kwama off the Daban Sokoban Road. You can call them or send them a WhatsApp message to 050-8777-755 or 0575-777-755, and that is Woody Locks. It's a brand new day. If you are somebody who has been campaigning for your candidate to win tomorrow's by-election, I'm sure that you'll be run out. Listen, day in and out, we hustle and we grind to turn all our dreams into reality. Now, whether we're working hard or we're working out, we're studying in school, we're starting a business, we're even on the campaign trail, there's no place to go but to go up and to succeed. But there are occasions or times in our day-to-day activity that our energy levels run low. This is why you will be excited to hear about Lucozade. It's got you covered. Now you can get the right energy boost to keep you going. Lucozade with glucose will restore your energy during your everyday routine. So wake up your vim with Lucozade. Do so every day and restore your energy. And this advert is FDA approved. Let's talk about our children. They matter to us, don't they? And there's fun time for the kids on DSTV, but fun time and they learn as well. DSTV is the home of the best kids entertainment and with something exciting for children of all ages. And you know what? The best part is that they get to learn whilst having fun by watching their favorite programs on DSTV. So give them premium enjoyment with shows such as Coco Melon on Moondog on DSTV channel 318, Paw Patrol on Nicktoons channel 308, Teen Titans go on to Cartoon Network, channel 301. PM Mask Power Heroes on Disney Channel, channel 309, and so much more. Now, reconnect or stay connected by dialing *759# to make sure your kids don't miss out on all the laughs and all the education on DSTV. DSTV is your moment. So let's go to Kumawu now. Tell us about Kumawu.
Yeah, David, before we go to Kumawu, the 7th Parliament had one. That's the last Parliament before this, but that was Ayawasu West where Chairman Jakun died and the wife, the current MP, Madam Lydia Hassan, inherited the seat. Now, David, yesterday when the article was posted on my journal, there were people asking for Infantiman. The indication is that the MP was killed in Infantiman in October. In 2020, the general elections was also happening. So based on Article 112 of the Constitution, a by-election is supposed to be held in 3 months. The EC and the MPP and all the parties decided that because of the time frame, it was not prudent to do a by-election and go for the general election. So the MPP did what they call what's the word? Acclamation, where the wife of the slain MP was a police officer. She had to resign from the police. I think Ophelia Hayford, where she contested the general election. So that is why Infantiman considered, though the MP was killed, he was killed in October. That was why there is no record of them having a by-election. That was the decision.
Okay. Now let's go to Kumawu. And a lot has happened in Kumawu in the past few weeks. And like we mentioned, Rio Baswa died in 2002. And that was the time where we had the first by-election in Kumawu. The second by-election in Kumawu is going to happen tomorrow, the 23rd of May. Tell us about this constituency.
Well, David, so when you look at Kumawu now, so Kumawu, unfortunately, I don't know if it's a good record. They are the 3rd constituency to have 2 by-elections in this 4th Republic. They join Novrongo Central and Amenfi West. These are the 3 constituencies to have 2 by-elections in the 4th Republic. Though the Kumawu constituency is an MPP seat, as I've said, since 1996, he's been held by the MPP. Rio Baswa in 1996, he died in 2002. There was a by-election and one lawyer, Yaoban, came. He also ended that term, went for 2004, won. I think he ruled for 10 years because he completed the 2 years. Then, when Kufuor came and was creating the various districts in Sechere, a young man, DC, then Philip Baswa, contested for the 2012 primaries of the MPP and defeated lawyer Yaoban and became the MP. So, Baswa entered Parliament, the late Philip Baswa entered Parliament on the 7th of January 2013. So he was a 2-term MP going into his 3rd term and unfortunately passed away. I predicted earlier that the MPP will win the seat.
Well, you're not the only one who is saying this because, of course, the Global Info and Analytics have also said that the MPP is going to win. Only the MPP thinks the communications manager believes that they're going to win with a broader, wider, bigger margin, than is being predicted by the Global Info and Analytics. But let's see, tomorrow is the day we'll get to find out. But we have 4 contestants in there.
Yeah.
We have the MPP being represented by Ernest Yao Enim. We have Kwesiya Mankwa representing the NDC. And then 2 independent candidates, Kweku Dua and another Kweku Dua. And their symbols have changed now because they both had birds. One had a falcon, one had a dove. But now one has a hoe and then one still maintains what we call it, the dove. Individually, these contestants, what do we know about them? What can you share with us about them?
Well, David, so about Kumawu, I was just trying to get you some numbers. You see, the closest that it's ever been was in 2020, where the original Yaudi, I say the original because all the MPP and the EC are doing this, it doesn't make sense. It defies logic. The original Yaudi contested, as we saw in, for example, Kwabris, where there was an independent candidate, as we saw in Bekwai and all that, because of the whole MPP and how the Ashanti region have said that one of the weakest link of the MPP going into election 2024 is the executives in the Ashanti region and how they handle some of these matters. So an independent candidate emerged and gave Philip Baswa a tough run. The contest was very close. I think Baswa won for about 15,000. The independent candidate also won, also garnered about 11,000 votes. The NDC has never been close in Kumawu except in 1992. In the contest, the last contest in 2020, they just garnered 8.53% of the vote. Even if Mahama contests there, he will lose. That is it. Even if Mahama contests the Kumawu seat, he will lose. It's clear. The MPP will win. But I think that the percentage, the communication that is I think between 55 to 65% anything between 55 to 65%. Yes, and you see, the reason why he will win is that he was one of the boys of Baswa, Philip Baswa. He campaigned vigorously for him. And David, when you come and inherit such a position, you inherit both the love and the enemies, people who love and loathe you at once. So clearly, and even the contest that they went, you saw how close the contests were. The lady and him, the difference was negligible. It clearly tells you that Kumawu is hot. And I personally have friends and reporters who are reporting that there's a lot of reconciliatory processes going on. And I believe that the MPP, based on what they've done and the overnight roads that they are doing, if not MPP, I don't know, roads are constructed at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and all that. These things, we have voted.
But the argument that some of them are raising, including, Akuetteh, the Road Minister, for example, says, I mean, even when there was a by-election in Talensi, at 12 midnight, roads were being constructed.
So they are repeating him.
He goes on to defend it, and he's saying that it's not about constructing a road because of a by-election, but that it was part of the plan. Even the regional minister himself also said that if people doubt it, they should go and ask Otumfuo, because he had series of meetings with Otumfuo. The MP for the area, the late Philip Aswa himself, had meetings, with people who matter. And the argument is that it was part of the plan, and that if it was for Kumawu, then they'll be constructing the road at Kumawu. But now they're doing from Ifidrase and other places they mentioned. But the question is this: did they tell? How can you convince somebody that indeed it's not about the by-election that is occurring tomorrow, but it's really something that's in the plan?
David, you see, I didn't want to go into these areas. I just wanted to stick to my data. But you see, when ministers lie, they say some of these things which are possible.
Maybe when they say falsehood, I'll be comfortable with falsehood.
Yesterday, when I closed something, I saw about 30 V8, the coat of arms one, meaning the president was going there. When I go, I on my TV, a few minutes he was on and he was in Kumawu. David, when was the Gabin Road constructed? Why was Kumawu left out? The NDC NMIS hospital in Kumawu, have they done it? Who brought water project to Kumawu? Was it not the NDC?
Well, there are videos that are circulating where I've heard some people say that years ago they used to wake up as early as 1 a.m. and try to get water, which of course they were not having access to. David. You have only a gallon or two.
David. The Konongo Kumawu Drobonso water project, who brought it to Kumawu? The NMIS. Under Shaliaite, the contract signed in 2013, who brought that hospital to Kumawu? What has the MPP done in the last 6-7 years in Kumawu? The MP had to die. And you see, David, the reason I always say that Ashanti region, they take us for granted is because of some of these things. An MP dies, all the resources of the country, V8. Yesterday, ask anybody who lives on the Jesu Road. It was because of 2-4. No, David, I'm coming. See, the MPP will win the Kumawu seat. It's a foregone conclusion. I'm not saying it because I've given you the data. Since 1986, they've won it with more than 50%. And in Parliament, you don't need 50%; you just need majority. So it clearly tells us it's an MPP seat. Historically, traditionally, no, it's an MPP seat. But the Roads Minister should respectfully share some of these conversations because it's not true.
I ask a next question, and it has to do with if indeed it's a safe seat for the NPP. Why the fuss? Why do we have the regional chairman on his knees, begging for votes? Well, why would we see pictures and videos of some goodies being shared to electorates? And Osechi Mensah himself has talked about, he's spoken against the monetization of our elections, and yet people are giving out all manner of things just to get the NPP candidate to win. Why do we have electrical gadgets being given out? Why, so what's the desperation for?
Well, David, they want to use it as a statement for the 2024 election. The NDC is also. Mama was there. Somebody yesterday I saw a post. I don't know if I can say. Said that he picked the intel that Ghana's problems all gathered at Kumawu yesterday, the NDC was also there to campaign, also to say that grounds are fertile if they increase the margins, and that 2024 is a possibility. David, vote buying or what you call pork barrel politics. You see,
and if you stay with us on Facebook right now, you can see the chairman for the MPP here in Ashanti region on his knees begging for votes, and it's on Facebook right now, LUV 99.5 FM, and all manner of things that is happening. I mean, you go ahead.
Yeah, David, pork barrel or what you see, that's the term, trying to induce someone to vote. It started in America, so even America is there, but it's how we do it. For here, it's glaring, and yesterday I saw people getting, and according to Mama, it's a 2 Jimmy rice. I don't know the brand. People are getting 3 cups of rice, beans. 6 cups of rice, beans, sugar, and all that. David, it's something you cannot take out of our politics. It's been part of our politics, and I think that we will be kidding ourselves if we say we will take it out. It's how the politicians present themselves, and delegates. Sometimes I don't blame them, David. They see it as an opportunity. Say, as I see, one plot. If it's 2,000 cedis, I'll get within that time. Let me get it, because the 4 years, the member of parliament will not mind me. David, I didn't want to go into it, but I even tell you I was on ground yesterday. When you listen to the brother of Basu, I think he's a professor. Some of the things his brother had to go through, 54 years. How will he collapse in his office and die? 53. 53, why? The pressure on him. So that is why I think it's laughable for the minister to say that, Kumawu was on the road. And David, in the budget, we can go through the budget, the road allocation that they did in the budget. Kumawu was not listed. Even the Swami ones you listed, you've not done it. So why are you lying to us that Kumawu was listed and trying to bring in a certain element of mention because they know that Nana sent there? It's even Kanekese.
I spoke to the MC for Swami this morning because initially our online story had to do with concerns by residents of Swami, where they're saying that where they have they fenced to construct the interchange, hooligans and other miscreants have taken over the place and doing all manner of crazy things there. So I called the MC trying to ascertain from him, what's being done. He said to me that initially he himself was not in support of barricading that area, but unfortunately it was done. He went on also to tell me that it's a loan that is going to be used to construct, and the loan is in. We might not have the technical eye to see that works are being done because, for example, yesterday from church, he saw some lab guys on the road doing some work. So he says, well, the contractor says he's working, but maybe we're not seeing it because we don't have the technical eye. So that's what it is.
David, the president said that the interchange would have been, is it November 2024?
Oh, we have had shift of dates several.
David, that project, the guy enjoying most is the one who does the barricade. Every time it rains, then it comes down, then you have to fix a new one.
Reconstruct it.
Yes, that's I just envy the guy. He's very rich. David, you see, and Kumawu, whatever is happening in Kumawu, the videos you are seeing, it's a testament to the president. And yesterday was on the ground that what legacy, after all the lofty promises you said, after all what you told us, what legacy are you living? And David, look at our mothers. 2 cups, 3 cups, 6 cups of rice. I mean, you see, they sit in Accra and paint a certain picture of all as well. They sit in Accra and create some hallucinations of paradise as if they've done everything, and their food soldiers will defend them because they don't travel. Yesterday I had a friend, hey, David, you see, and yesterday, one of the funny things on social media on Twitter was that, hey, now if you want development, let your MP die. Yes. Then they will bring everything there. It's not proper. And I always say that the Ashanti region must demand respect from its people. You mentioned even Swami. David, when was the shortcut for Swami? Do you know that we have just 3 months to the Agenda 111 completion of it in 3 days? And do you know what the camera is there and see the state of the. And do you know what the president even granted an interview to a radio station in Kumasi about the roads at Kwabre, where the people of Kwabre were complaining about the post of their roads, and he said, "Well, if threats, so I'm not bothered by threats or something. And if you will not vote for the it's awesome. So if, for example, something should happen in that Kwabre area right now, and there should be a by-election to be held." Oh, but they did it. When Sir John died, as a Sakao, they went to do so. So it tells you that you see, our politics is never visionary. It's never about planning. It's not about proactiveness. It's reactionary. So if indeed you can face Kumawu rules at 10 p.m., 2 a.m., when an MP has died, why can't you fix it when he's alive?
But how far-fetched is an upset, in those by-elections at Kumawu?
Well, the independent candidate, Nana Ojima, was on the ground when the MPP contest. He's formidable. It will be foolhardiness on the part of the MPP chairman or any analyst to say that he's a formidable guy. If he's not formidable, the MPP will not plant, and I can say this on authority, plant another person to say I'm Kumawu Kudia, also wear kente and bring a bird as an emblem. And David, I have a challenge with the EC doing that. And yesterday I made a point to the occasion that, you see, when our state institutions are misbehaving, you must call them to order, because the political party will go. The NDC went in 2016, the MPP left in 2008, but the EC remained. Electoral Commission will remain. Ghana Water will remain. ECG will remain. So when they are not working, David,
why are you fighting the EC here?
No, David, I'm coming. So the Electoral Commissioners are telling us that they only knew about the draft. That's what they call it. They say it's a draft that went out. After the thing has been out for close to weeks, days, they only got to know about 48, less than 48 hours to the main election.
Okay, so I'm not holding brief for the EC, but like I said, I spoke to the original boss for the EC yesterday, last night. What he said to me was this, that what they brought out was just meant for the contestants. And I'm speaking his words here. Meant for the contestants, not necessarily meant for the general public. That's number one. He said when they had done it, that was the second independent candidate, the second Kwekudia, was the last person to have come in with his. So when they realized it, they started engaging him at the regional level, first district and then regional level, telling him to change his symbol. He vehemently refused. They kept engaging with it. They kept engaging with him. He still said he was not going to change the symbol. So he said he forwarded the whole thing to Accra. Then Accra kept calling him on the phone. They called this Kwekudia on the phone several times, speaking to him to let him change it. And they went on to tell him that, listen, we have a law that mandates us to use our discretion in changing it. If he refused to
the whole.
And then he still said he was not going to change it. So then the EC, based on the law, changed the symbol and gave him what they call it, the whole. He said even to me that if you check the previous one that came out, you could tell from the one that they're going to use in tomorrow's election that the NDC guy has even changed his attire. So yes, that is allowed. So they spoke to this Kwekudia. It was the Kwekudia guy who made it difficult for them.
David, if a notice has been out there that Madame Germain said Sika, it won't take 5 minutes for them to respond. The point I'm making is that the EC cannot tell us that this picture has been circulating all over mainstream media, social media, and they are telling us that 48 hours, that's why they are coming to give us the original document.
They said they were engaging with the guy.
No, David, I'm saying that you see, our state institutions must stop some of this. When you do that, it fuels and it gives certain credence to the perception people have about that state institution. Who doesn't know that the people believe the AC is in bed with the MPP? So when some of these things happen, you have to be proactive. That is the word, proactiveness. Let me give you another example. 3 weeks ago, DVLA took a unilateral decision to charge, if you like, 3 weeks back, check your Uber fares. They were taking what you call digital fee. I paid about 4 occasions. It was later found that there was no parliamentary ratification, there was no cabinet approval. So how dare DVLA unilaterally take such a decision? That is the proactiveness I talk about. If you don't call them, then they will sit and do some of these things. You allow the person to come file Kwekudia. There is also Kente, the same picture as the original Kwekudia, the third one on the list. He brings a bed or a file or whatever. He accepts it as a draft. They later come and tell us 48 hours that you change it to a whole. And we should accept it.
Well, like I said, he said they engaged with him severally. Accra engaged with him severally. He failed or refused to change his symbol. And that's how come they have given him the whole. So we're giving you a gist of what has been happening over the years, in Kumawu. Tomorrow is a real deal. And, if you follow the data, the works done by the Global Info and Analytics, where they're saying that, the MPP's candidate is going to win. All right, he's going to win. You've had Eugene was to also say that the NPP candidate is going to win. Only for him, he hasn't told us by which margins.
I said between 55 to 65%.
Okay. Yeah. Joe, please change this one. So this one is the one that they say is not the original. So please change this one. Look for the one that has the hole on it, and then that will be the original one. I asked him. All he did was he left and let it slide. Listeners, you can join us now 03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-83598. There's another by-election. It's going to be the 31st by-election, and it's happening at Kumawu tomorrow. What are your expectations? All that is going on with Roger Chairman kneeling down, with all the distribution of stuff that's ongoing. What are your expectations in tomorrow's by-election? The number to call us on is 03220-83596, 03220-83597 and 03220-83598. Call us now. Let's hear from you.
But Dave, do you know the independent candidate is a very, very good friend of mine?
Yes, there are two. Yeah. There are two Kokuduas. Yeah. So the smaller one, the younger one.
The younger one.
I saw him at your father's. I saw him at the father's funeral. Yeah. I was telling you about it. I saw him at the father's funeral, and so
so you transfer your vote to Kumawu.
I'm right.
Christoph, good morning and welcome, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, David. I hope you are fine, sir. Kwame Eugene, you did your set to good work done, Good work. God bless you. David, so the late Philip Baswa, as he having any track record that the NPP can capitalize on and do the campaign. David, we are telling the IMF that they should not send our money now, but if they send the money now, the whole amount will be used at that one constituency. They will take the money there and go and finish the money out there. That's what it says. If a seat belongs to you as a party, David, and somebody dies, and you have to retain the seat, is that the approach? It means that there's something you are not doing right. That is why you can marshal all these forces, these arsenals, the president, the vice president, that the Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, Anchi Benadajibosiako, was seen in a video kneeling down in churches, begging people to vote for the NPP. It is serious. It tells you there's messed up. It tells you they know that they are not doing well, and so they might lose the election. And so they have to employ all these tactics and all that. A regional chairman going to churches, kneeling down in a church, begging people. David, where are you going as people? So are we saying that unless an MP dies before they can develop a constituency, we are finished? We are in a dogroom. God should come to us. David, if you are not careful, all the national resources will be put there. That's for one constituency, for an MP to be elected. God help Ghana.
Well, thank you very much, Christoph. And I don't know whether you watched the news file on Saturday when Ivan Smith sat in for our regular host, something like that. The Minister of State, Amin Adams, was on the phone lines. He said with all this cash coming in from the IMF, it's going to be used for several other things, including the construction of hospitals and roads and many others. So if people of Kumawu are going to benefit from road construction, well, I don't see anything wrong with that. Salifu is on the line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my boss.
How are you, sir?
Blessed by His grace. Also, sir.
I'm also blessed, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Dave, the EC should be firm. This election, we all know that this independent candidate, Kokudia or whoever, is having the chance to win it, honestly speaking. The first Kokudia. The second Kokudia is an NPP person. We know it. It's a political strategy that they are using. But it will not work. Well, the system is hard. I mean, this government is not performing. You understand? They are not performing. Look at what is happening at Kumawu. It's hard. Like, hey, Ghanaians, we have a whole lot of problems. Seriously. We have a problem in this country.
Salifu Sahaku there. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. 03220-83596, 83597, 83598. You can also give us a call. Let's hear from you. Nana Kweku is on now. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
And I hope you interject as you normally do, because what I'm going to say, my sword always cuts different sides. Please, your panel on the studio, at least he was going to speak today. He should have been abreast with issues concerning the pictures that they are going to use, because it was on top news file and top story on Thursday when the whole the change of name and then this whole thing came about. It was on news file and on top story on Thursday. So it's not 48 hours that these changes have taken effect. Our advice, next time if he's coming, you should be abreast issues. I think
that when as a public radio, if you want to rebut anything, you speak to facts. I said that the EC notice. When was the EC notice? What is the date on the notice? Can you give us that?
This thing was out last Thursday. It was out last Thursday. Evans interviewed the EC in Kumasi, and this narrative that David gave was done on Thursday. It's not 48 hours. And then look, I don't understand why these politicians, I keep calling them tricksters, think that they can come out and then do something. It happened way back in previous administration where there was a by-election and they go midnight. I remember that Suman, they were doing tallying rules left, right, center in the middle of the night. And then they come in doing the same thing. Please, Ghanaians really learn. We are not as stupid as we used to be in 2020 or whatever, 1992. We have learned our lessons. So these things, these shenanigans that they go through, they should stop it. And then I don't understand this thing to do. I know they are tricksters. Please, how can you marshal? Look by the last elections, someone gaining 14,000 and he getting around 3,000, and you think you can somersault and come and get. So then I will go by this Professor Kofi Adekumo. He said, please, what is the by-election? This waste of resources that they go to left, right, center sharing, they should just allow the party that was in power appoint someone, and then the next election they go in. Rather than this.
Nana Kweku, thank you very much. And for you listeners, I would like for you to join us on Facebook. There's something I want you to go watch on Facebook. I've asked Joe Alabi to put something on Facebook. It has to do with something that Nana Kweku also said a while ago. And I'll leave it for you.
David, just to say that Nana Kweku, when he's listening to us, should listen to us carefully. When you want to quote people, quote them correctly. The EC statement was released on the 21st of May 2023. Today is the 22nd. The election is on the 23rd. So if I say 48 hours, what is wrong about that? That is the statement of the EC.
All right. And let's go to George. Hi, George.
Fine, David. How are you?
I'm well, George. Good to have you.
David, as one of my brother said it already, this seat could have been an easy win for NPP if they have done something right. What legacy have the previous MP left that they have to stand on and say this MP have done this and this and this and he was doing this? So if you didn't vote for us to continue, that development or project will be left ajar. But they are rather pretending for votes. A chairman who was displaying gold on his TV, David, is now on his knees begging for votes. They have nothing to tell the people. That is why they have to share a half cup of rice. Look at the cloth they gave to that woman. Was it a quarter piece for votes? Look at the V8 contained there. The whole vice president is there for one seat. Look at the money they are spending there, David, for one seat. You see, the IMF should hold the money. When the economy is hard and the finance minister came to put things in place, he did not touch the S. Gracia. He did not touch the Article 71. Rather, it was pensioners, bonds. They want to impoverish all of us so that at the end of the day, they will come and give us 1 cup of rice for us to vote for them. We will not accept that. Thank you, David.
Well, thank you very much, Josh, there. And I think we can speak to Sledge, who's also on now. Hi, Sledge, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm well, sir.
Very fine.
Thank God for your life.
It's a mixed feeling for me because the Kwakuja Mexican is my brother, very good brother. The Kumasi High School product. And I know the Rosary is also supporting him. I am supporting him to win. Because David, my own party, we told them, you are neglecting Ashanti region, Kumawu Hospital, your roads, but my part is the same. So seeing videos, have been to stay the grounds last day. But David, I know MPP is going to win, but this should be a lesson to my party. If you want to break the east, they know what they sit in Accra and do. Ghana politics is not only about Accra. It's not about sitting on social media. David, now we are busy telling Ross in Kumawu doing everything. David, thank you. In the mind. Philip Baswa, as an MP, was started from coming from a certain camp. So his constituency was neglected. Today, a whole original chairman is on his dying. David, I wish my party were, but I'm supporting Kwakuja the second.
Thanks, Sledge, for passing through. Let's see to Ken. Hi. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, David.
Let's hear you, sir.
David, for today, I'm going to advise. Listen, to every Ghanaian, if you want development in your constituency or your area, I think it's better you start praying to God that your MP should die. That is the only way that you can get this developmental project in your area. Also, these Kwabri people, they should start praying that the lady over there should pass away. Then it will happen.
No, Ken, no. Say maybe she should be given some position in ECOWAS like Ibn Chambers had or something. Maybe she should pass away. I beg you. For that one, they retract. I beg.
That is the normality. That is
no. But you don't wish somebody here like this and come and say it on radio. I want me to keep quiet. If somebody comes and says I want Ken to die or something, no, come on, Ken.
I hear, but and then the IMF deal.
Ken, before you talk about the IMF, I want you to categorically retract it for me, please.
I hear, David.
Yeah, fine, but retract.
So, back to the...
Ken, I want you to say you retract what you said, please.
I have. Are you okay? David, are you okay? Okay, so back to the IMF deal. I think it has come at the right time. Because these leaders, our leaders, they are going to use this money as this campaign. Because we have seen it. And then, for the reason why they are doing this, or they were looking for this money, they were finding ways of getting this IMF deal to be sealed, is because of the incoming election. God save Ghana.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. And let's switch to Kofi. I think he's going to be our final caller. Hi, Kofi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you, sir.
When it comes to election, I've always maintained that if you vote for somebody to become president, the moment he wins the election, he goes to Accra, stay in Accra, and you, grassroots person who voted for this very president, will never get a chance to go and complain anything about your constituency to the president. The least chance the president will get, he will come and say that, and that kind of thing. But if you are voting for a parliamentary candidate, vote for somebody you can hold accountable. Don't consider party affiliations, because you will vote for a party person and he will go and he will not mind you. But if you vote for somebody that you know that if anything at all, he will come to the constituency and you will get hold of him. That is the person you should vote for. Me, I always vote for somebody I can go to when the need comes. I don't vote for a party person, or if a party person is avails himself anytime to be accountable to the people. Yes, I will vote for him. If a opposition party person will hold himself out for us to, for him to account to us, I'll vote for that person, even if independent person. So I am asking Kumawu people that they should put NDC MPP aside and look for who will be available always for them to, tell them what they want. Person who will account to them, not a party person who will come and say, and then when he gets the power, he goes, no, I can say, parliamentarians, legislators.
I hear Kofi, thank you very much, Kofi, for joining us as well. And for me, all I'll say is this. I mean, so Kumawu Akuetteh, the Roads Minister, said that it's been in the plan to construct the Kumawu Road, and they didn't just start at Kumawu, they began it from Efijasi. What will let us believe you, Honorable Road Minister, is after the elections tomorrow, a week or two on, will the work still go on, or it will stall? We know here in Kumasi, when the president is visiting a particular area, contractors go on site, and when the president is gone, the contractors leave site. If indeed what you said to the people of Kumawu and to the people of Ghana is anything to go by, and that it was part of the plan, it's been part of a plan, and it's been executed now, it has nothing to do with the by-elections. The elections will be over tomorrow. We'll see what will happen after tomorrow. And don't forget that, well, if it's indeed true that it's a part of a plan and it continues, and the people of Kumawu and this environment and other communities get their roads, so well and good. But if the contractors stop work, 2024 is around the corner. We'll play back that voice for you. But let's go into our WhatsApp console. There are some messages there.
This one says, good morning. On the by-elections, the MP people will retain the seat. The people will vote based on the recent developmental projects ongoing in the constituency. He didn't bring his name. And this one says, I see voting to be a waste of time. Now, massive development is going on at Kumawu. MPP and NDC are two sides of the same coin. The hardship in the country is unbearable. Mr. Mahamatu isn't the option because he has been there before. And this is from Nana Koku Apia from Kochi. And the third one is a voice note. Can I play?
Good morning, Mr. David. Oh, by the grace of God, you are doing well. Our politicians are funny. You know, when you show your scorecard, there's no need for you to run and go and be selling rice to people to vote for you. MPP is a failure to Ghana democracy, and they will continue to be a failure. You know what? My thought is that when you analyze things well, you look at it very well, you know that definitely the independent candidate have the upper hand, and mark my words, he's going to win the seat. And when he gets to the Parliament House, he's definitely going to do business with NDC, or he'll be of himself. And mark my words, he's going to win the seat in Kumawu tomorrow. Watch my words. Because this MPP, the people of Asante, I don't know, they have attached themselves to the NDC in this MPP in such a way that, I don't know, even if there is a rack, if whatever, they will agree to it. Let's watch and see what happens tomorrow.
Well, like you have said, let's wait and see what unfolds tomorrow at Kumawu. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll bring you all the necessary details of it. That's where we draw the curtain on today's edition of our conversation. Well, the main conversation on the Super Morning Show has to do with accidents on our roads. Over the weekend, some 6 persons died, some got burned through accidents and all that. I'm wondering why we cannot do the right things on our roads.
I told that enclave, the Tichiman enclave. I don't know what's happening.
That's where, our very fine lady, what's her name, Ebony. That's the enclave.
Okay.
That's so I'm wondering what is with that. And it cuts across the length and breadth of Ghana. And in this case, there were 2 buses, and I said, and then unfortunately one of the buses failed a brake at top speed. I'm wondering, the buses, they use sticks, what do you call it? Manual. So why didn't he use this, what do you call it? Gear to slow down. So he was blowing his horn. I'll allow you, don't worry. I'm told that he was tooting or blowing his horn. The STC bus in front of him didn't know what it was about or what he was trying to communicate. And for the bus driver not to run to the rear of the STC, he veered off his road, and then there was some vehicle coming, that had some alcohol and stuff in there, and then the accident occurs. Let's be mindful of what we do on our roads. I was telling you some time ago that I was driving to Accra. There was a guy in a small Corolla. He was overtaking 2-3 cars at the stretch. So when I have space, I would also overtake and then go behind, and I was watching. I got to a position for him to have stopped at a choba and was going to eat. So I couldn't control it. I couldn't control myself.
Also,
eat. Buy banana on the road when there's traffic. Buy banana. Buy something before. And I'm saying that, so eat before you set off on your journey. Buy some fruit. Buy something, some malt. You don't drive recklessly on the road like that because you're going to
like I understand that if you are hungry, sometimes it will drive you to do some crazy things, but not at when your life is in danger.
But David, Corolla drivers, Sonata, Elantra, those vehicles, I'm just almost 4x4.
Sometimes they drive like they're driving Ferraris. And I'm like, these kind of maneuvers are for Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Why are you doing this?
And when they make some foolish overtaking, then they start flicking their lights.
Yeah.
So that they want you to slow down and jump because we'll do a room quanta. I think we'll flick our lights 60 space. Let's go for some commercial.
Anytime is a good time to have a break.